I wanna get in that country world once again.
See, the nice thing is that you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about this itch.
Morning, y'all.
Morning. I need to think about it. It's like, all right, you have makeup and you got hair and you got all kinds of things you got to worry about.
I have those things, yes.
Yeah, and I have to admit, you know, that I benefit from my testosterone-based nature, that I can pretty much just kind of like do this to my hair and I'm generally okay. But I also got this thing growing out of my face that just causes it to itch all the time unless I rub a hot metal blade across it on a regular basis.
Okay, hold on a second. So you're saying that it itches all the time?
Not all the time, but like if I don't continually shave and I'm fair enough that this doesn't like burst out of my face like a Wolverine angry or something, it grows fairly slowly, but I'll just be doing whatever and all of a sudden I just got this itch and it's just, I can scratch it and then like 5 minutes later I gotta do it again and then it'll go away for a few hours.
It just gives me this impression of like the hair straining out of the follicles and they're just like in a hurry and they're angry and they're just coming out your face.
It feels that way sometimes.
My lands.
Yeah, no, I got friends, like I can literally go like 3 days without shaving and no one can really tell from a distance. And I know folks who they can't
from
go.
a distance.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get up real close to my face, you're going to notice. But most folks, you know, even as far away as the camera, you can't tell if I've shaved in the last 3 days or not.
Emmett.
Is it more obvious than I realize?
No, that's not where I was going.
Oh, okay. Well, where are you going?
Well, he pointed out like he could go 3 days or so
without
as long as nobody got too close.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no one's really trying to get that close.
That's
so
where I was headed.
That's where you're getting back to my inherent nature of single loneliness and all of that. My lack of social desirability.
Now, that is not the case. You are not socially undesirable. I just think you get real busy.
I do get real busy, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if I wasn't busy? I mean,
yeah.
There's a benefit staying busy. And now some folks have said to me over the years, hey,
yeah, I could
Emmett,
imagine it.
You're always so busy. What are you trying to run from? What are you trying to run from?
Like, oh, that makes me so mad when people say that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I'm trying to run from anything so much as I'm trying to run to something. I'm not trying to run away from myself and my own thoughts and feelings. I clearly have
I think
those.
Folks are projecting when they say things like that to other people.
Could be. Could very well be.
I don't know.
I'm going to say yes, but...
That's that improv class you took kicking in.
I'm saying yes.
But
I'm going to say yes, but. I'm going to say yes, but in this particular case, which is, yeah, people are projecting because we're always projecting all the time.
Yeah.
But there's also a certain degree of truth. It's just that we got one life to live, and I deeply believe that self-reflection is important for one's personal growth and well-being. I also believe that too much self-reflection can just lead to neurotic navel-gazing and analysis paralysis.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to mix it up. You got to like constantly check in with yourself and like reflect on who you are and what you're doing and why. But you need to be doing something that you can reflect on.
Otherwise, those times of reflection are just kind of like, remember when we were kids and TV would go off the air?
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing.
They play the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, and then go to just beep, and then just go to a test pattern or static.
A minute ago, you said One Life to Live.
That's One Life to Live. Well, there was also that was a show that never went off the air. Well,
yeah.
It did eventually, didn't it?
Probably. It was one of Mama's stories.
Are any of the stories still on anymore? Like Days of Our Lives, General Hospital?
I think some of them still are
Ryan's Hope.
Ryan's Hope. I always thought of Ryan's Hope as an also ran. Like it came later and no one cared.
Well, it's tough because you're basing it all on Ryan. I mean, what happens when Ryan goes away?
Or loses hope.
Yeah, well, there you go. You lose hope.
But what were the big three? Let's see. General Hospital.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives.
As the World Turns. There was more than three. So there was Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns, General Hospital, and Edge of Night.
Now, those are worlds where things are always happening.
Oh, yeah.
Always happening. And I feel bad for the writers of those shows, because can you imagine you're doing an hour a day that you're writing those shows, and you got to create something interesting to happen. You can only have so many affairs and abductions and murders and embezzlements and whatnot. Like, all right, you told those stories.
And evil twins.
And evil twins. Right, so you've told those stories, but now it's Thursday. Now what are you going to do?
Well, now you're going to draw it out. And there's going to be like this build-up of tension because somebody's going to have to confront somebody about something. And so they're going to go to the country club or the local coffee place or some place where one gathers. And they're going to end up in the same place at the same time. And you know they're going to have that conversation, but they're not going to have it in that episode. They're probably not going to have it. Let's say that's Thursday. They're not going to have it till Wednesday of the next week.
Well, that's the funny thing. I felt soap operas and comic books, or comic strips even, have the same time dilation issue.
Yep.
Where it might take you 3 weeks to tell the story of what happened in one day because you're cutting back and forth so much.
That's right.
That, I remember watching shows with my mom growing up because she'd be playing them after I got home from school.
She'd watch her stories.
So I'd sit and watch with her. And it'd literally be like a plot goes on, like person walks in, bomb, 3 other plot lines happen. It's a half hour later, come back in, bomb. We need to talk. Bomb. We don't come back to them until the next day. And it's like, man, it's going to take a week just for them to get their coffee.
By that point, you've forgotten what they needed to talk about.
No, then they have to recap it.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, so it's all buffer in time with lots of dramatic music. And
then they sell buffering in the middle.
Yeah, there's buffering in the middle. So yeah, time is such a thing.
Elastic.
That was not a very profound statement. Time is such a thing. Look at that.
Well, time is a thing. And you know, no, that is a profound statement because time is a thing. And how we use time is a thing. And, you know, we've always been accused as kids of don't waste time. Oh, you're wasting time. Or time's a wasting. Or you're burning daylight. Right? We are so worried about destroying time and not utilizing it in an appropriate fashion.
And there is...
That was inculcated into us.
It was
as
inculcated.
children.
And it's tough because it is both true. Yeah. We have a limited amount of time on this planet.
Oh, yeah.
We should, not want to reach the end of our lives with regret. But also kind of toxic because just going all the time isn't necessarily good either. Again, you need to have that give and take.
Which makes people ask you, what are you running from that you're spending so much time being so busy all the time?
Exactly. So it's like all things in life. It's a question of balance. Reflect and act. Act and reflect. Reflect and act. Use your time wisely, but that might not mean always doing something all the time.
Well, I have a good friend who says you must reflect in order to go forward.
Is her name Mary?
I'll give you her number.
So bring me the country sound when the sun goes down.